What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I mean, you already saw it on the thumbnail, you read it on the title. Today we're starting a new series on the channel. I have a lot of fun analyzing the process behind the making of a music video. But if you know a little bit about me, you know that my work ranges from photography to video to print, illustration, drawing. So today I want to, embrace a little bit of that creative direction aspect of my life, where we will analyze not only digital work like music videos, but also like printed work. There's no other way and no better moment to start that than with Miss Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl. Target to get the Target exclusive vinyl. I know she has 29 different versions of this, and I'm really excited. I'm already in love with the photography. The design is already great, and as you can see, it's still I'm really excited to get into this and break it down for you guys, and hopefully we can learn something. Before I start the breakdown and analysis, I do want to mention a couple of things from my last Taylor Swift's video. The very first thing I want to say is thank you to everyone who jumped in the comment section and said amazing things about the review and the analysis. My approach towards the videos is to try to analyze and break them down, so it forces me to pause it. Copyright also forces me to pause it, because I noticed that a lot of people were trying to have me watch the full video. I can't do that, and also kind of like I think it. And third, last but not least, I want to thank all of you guys who recommended me a lot of stuff that I want to get into. So without further ado, let's just get right into this. The Life of a Showgirl, which, by the way, I listened to the album already, like on a streaming platform, and I thought it was great. I think my favorite song so far, I like Opalite a lot. I thought Wood was hilarious. The design is incredible. The photos are incredible, like I already pointed out. But there's something really cool about the letters. To put it simply, in design terms, they grabbed the letters, they masked them out, they added some sort of like shiny, glittery texture. They cut the letters through the texture, but when they printed it out, they sent it as a spot, which plain English, it means that they're gonna use like a glittery print ink, so it looks shiny. And it's not only on the letters, it's also part of like the design elements. If you see it back here, it kind of like crosses over from the front. Cover, I love this photo. I actually like it better than the one that they have on streaming platforms, which I think it's the official one. I really like this cover because I feel like it's something closer to what I would have done. It has a lot more mystery to it. I love her pose, and it looks it has a lot of the burlesque elements to it, which in my particular and humble opinion, it's like a lot of elegance, a lot of finesse, but also very temptuous, and a lot of like magnetism, which is something like that draws your eye. It's kind of like really hard to not look at it, aside from the obvious fact that it generates this very unique sexual tension. So as far as like design elements, so they grabbed the main photo, and what they did, it's like, I don't know, again, if this is related to a conceptual part of the album, but they did a bunch of cutouts that almost look like shards, right? Like pieces of shards from like a mirror of some sort. And if you see, you also see it here on the back. I love this photo in the back because I think she looks great, and I also like the fact that it's not perfect. Not necessarily related to the concept, but in showbiz, not everything is perfect. You're not always gonna strike the perfect pose. You gotta kind of like, you have to learn how to, work with what you have, let's say. And in photography, it's very much like that. In fact, the photos that are not necessarily standardized perfect tend to be the most interesting ones at times, right? So I really like this photo, and it's also cool to see her, in a little bit more of an alternative side of art rather than the usual pop approach. So let's open it up. Oh my god. Oh my god. I literally just did this, and I'm already like, I'm so glad I'm doing this video. Like, oh, look at this. Wow, you guys, this is like genuinely, I hope I don't get heat for this, but like, you can easily not like her music and just appreciate the visual art of her project. Like, her visual side of things, it's so powerful based on what I've seen, which is only like a music video, maybe a couple others in passing, and this album. it's already absolutely phenomenal. So it's like she's, you know, she's hitting us at every angle. So let's start with these. I'm not gonna address this one because this one's a little bit different, but these 3 photos have a very similar lighting to this one and the one on the back, which is very tungsten, very warm, 3200 Kelvin, which is the temperature of the light, and which has like this, you know, very cinematic look to it, and I absolutely love it. Even though I think these are like different looks, except this one. I think this one's the one from the back cover. I absolutely love these ones because a lot of the stuff that I like to do, it's very like characterized. Like I like taking photos. If you see some of my work, it's like heavy influence on like film and like someone that could easily exist, right? Not necessarily someone that's playing dress up. And this is exactly what this feels like, and that's why the concept hits so hard. And I'm sure it's the case for other of her albums, but not a lot of artists are able to kind of like, you know, jump into like a new skin and fully transform into the concept that they're trying to convey. So I absolutely love these set of photos. Again, I'm a fan of blurry photos, so top one might be my favorite. The bottom one has a little bit of a Titanic vibe going to it. I love the one with the little martini glass or the champagne glass. So let's address the big spread. This is beautiful. She's eating cake, probably related to a conceptual thing from her album as well. It has a very like Annie Leibovitz kind of vibe, like super high fidelity but not super blown out. Like if you see the highlights in all of these photos, the highlights meaning the widest point of the image, they have a tendency of being like somewhere down the middle. So like if we were to turn this photo into like black and white, the widest point of the image will probably be like some sort of like gray, right? Which automatically gives it like this cinematic look, right? Because in film, we don't usually hit like pure white unless you're trying to do something that's a creative decision. Let me know in the comments. Like, I'm really wondering why she's eating red cake. I think she has an album named Red. From a photography and creative standpoint, this is great because it matches her dress, especially since she's standing in what seems to be like a cream room, and the toning of the image makes it look green, so the red really pops. Same thing with like the yellow vase. It's also almost like a middle point. I love this little like pocket here that they have to see the vinyl. I don't know if this is specific to the Target version, but I got a glittery one and that's really cool. Most of the times like vinyls just come in black or like a color, but whenever it comes in a special texture or a special pattern, it's always nice. We have a handwritten letter. Remember this city? You've been here before in another life. On another tour? Remember her? She's got a mortgage now. Straight teeth, where there would be the metal brackets, standing with her 8-year-old daughter. You mouth, I know you. In the millisecond gap in your choreography to you, she will look exactly the same age as the first time you saw her. She will always be 14 and a half. Remember, lock right back into the footwork. Any misstep is a misstep. You must remember everything, but mostly this. The crowd is your king, who has ruled over you for centuries, benevolently for the most part. We have a little like Taylor Swift icon here that almost looks like it's taking out of like The Great Gatsby, which it's super, I think it's actually like from a historical standpoint, I think that's when showgirls were invented or something. Tonight, all these lives converge here. The mosaics of laughter and cocktails of tears, where fraternal souls sing identical things, and it's beautiful. It's rapturous, it's frightening. She probably wrote this on a piece of paper and they threw it into Photoshop and then put it in this really nice kind of like papers. It's really cool to see her handwriting. It's worth everything it has cost you, and even at your darkest or drunkest, you wouldn't say any different, would you? You would choose all of it again, no matter how the story ends, with the ugliest booze or the loveliest bouquet. They say that the love is a choice you make every single day, and that is how you love the life of a showgirl. I'm guessing this is kind of like an introductory, it's like a prologue to the album, or maybe it's even part of one of the lyrics, but very nice detail. I love the fact that this is almost like a little diary moment when you open it up and you get to see the vinyl and you see the little handwritten letter from Taylor herself. So let's pop this bad boy out. Do we have a booklet? Oh my god, we have a booklet. Oh my god, we have a booklet. Oh, nah, bro. Dude, like, I don't think I made it clear enough the first time through. If there's anyone watching this video and you don't like her music, just consume her visual side. It's so well executed, and it's so powerful, it's ridiculous. Dude, this is already like the best vinyl I own. Like the attention to detail. And this is just one of 29. I'm sure someone out there on the internet probably bought all 29. If you're in the comments, just say hi. Usually so usually vinyls, the way it works, they come in like this little paper pocket where you insert it so it doesn't scratch. So when you put it in the vinyl player, it's not like jumpy. It's usually like a blank paper. It's almost like rice paper, in which they insert it and then you insert it into like the little cardboard thingy. But in this case, she went the extra mile again and made her own custom booklet that's also the little pocket, right? So the vinyl comes in this little plastic thingy. I'm not gonna take it out because I don't wanna ruin it, but we see side A, very beautiful color. I don't know if you could see it, but it's almost like a champagne. Depending on how the light hits it, it has like a little champagne tone to it. So we have side A, Fate of Ophelia, Elizabeth Taylor, Opalite, Father Figure, Eldest Daughter, Ruined the Friendship. And then side B, we have Actually Romantic, Wishlist, Wood, Cancelled, Honey, and The Life of a Showgirl featuring Sabrina. Let's see if we have credits here. Producers, Max Martin, Shellback, and Taylor Swift, mixed by Serban Guinea. Let's set this aside. And then we have the little pocket that I see that it's also a booklet. So the little pocket we have on the left, we have this photo of her in her full showgirl gown. This looks incredible. Again, very cinematic. Like if you notice in a lot of these images, especially the ones that were like on the side of what I call the little diary, she's not even like looking at the camera. She's just kind of like being in her existence, like in this world that she created, which again, I feel like it's one of those things that really make it feel like it exists. Because when you watch a movie, they're not watching the camera unless they're breaking the fourth wall, which is a resource that doesn't happen all the time. The photos you usually see are from the photographer that was like on set, and most of the times they're just facing each other or, you know, existing in the world. A really nice approach that they took. So you see, here's the little pocket. This is where the vinyl goes. And then we have this black and white photo. This I did not expect, because if you notice, a lot of the stuff that we've seen, it's one, very colorful, and second, I feel like Showgirls, the concept of Showgirls has a lot of like that glittery gold, champagne, pink, even blues hues that are very characteristic from Vegas and Atlantic City, essentially. So yeah, surprising approach going black and white. We'll love to see like the full look in color though. Let's open it up. We have lyrics. Something I did not expect, and maybe this is an Easter egg right here. So like if you see the back cover of the album, which is something that's normal when you're doing branding and packaging, the whole album, it's pretty consistent. They're using the same font throughout the entirety of the record. The titles are always in caps, if you notice, and then when we go to see the track list, they're using title case, which is just the first letter of each word, it's capital letter, and then the rest, it's just regular letters, except Cancelled. Given that it has an exclamation mark, I'm guessing she's yelling it. Yeah, it's essentially a design system, a way the design elements behave to create a consistency and it to feel natural, right? It's kind of like when you look at highway signs, they're always the same font, they're always written in the same way, same spacing, same size. In this case, specifically when it comes to like the inner part of this little booklet, they kind of like changed it up a bit. So I don't know if you could see it. So in the Fate of Ophelia right here, they did go with the same font that they went for the back cover. In fact, let's just compare them. Same font, but then for number 2, Elizabeth Taylor, they decided to go a different way. And I'm wondering if it's something related to a conceptual standpoint, but interesting choice. Same concept of having the masking of the glitter, but yeah, they just decided to go with a different font. But then we go back to Opalite, and it's actually the same font, just a different weight. Normally, for those that are not familiar with design concepts, the way it works, it's that when you have a font like, I don't know, Times New Roman, Arial, Comic Sans, Helvetica, all of those different fonts come in different ways. So you'll have like medium, you'll have book, you'll have heavy, you'll have black, ultra black. And what changes, it's the weight of the font, whether it's thin or like super, super heavy and thick. Opalite, it's the exact same font that they use for Ophelia. but it's just a thin version, which is something that could be a creative decision that could make sense. For father figure, it's the same thing. I think it's actually the same font, but they just used a different version of the font. So they used an italicized, probably somewhere in the medium range, medium heavy, and it has different ligatures, which is the shapes of the letters are different. So if you look at the A in father, it's different from the A in Ophelia, but it's probably the same font. It's just a different version, like a different variation of each letter that you could change to kind of like change it up a little bit. It's kind of like when you use A and D for and, or you use an ampersand. Eldest daughter, same case as Opalite. Ruined friendship, the same thing as the fate of Ophelia. Actually romantic, the same thing as Opalite. Wood, the same thing as the fate of Ophelia, but instead of it being slanted, italicized, it's regular. Wish list, the same thing. They just, for conceptual reasons, they decided to use a $sign instead of an S. Cancel, the same thing that I already mentioned, italicized in black. The life of a showgirl, the exact same as the fate of Ophelia, except the Sabrina Carpenter, which they do that to kind of like make her stand out a little bit. Since everything is so consistent, when you see something that's somewhat of a different font, it automatically, you know, stands out, even if it's smaller. It's like a really elegant way of making Sabrina Carpenter stand out without having necessarily to make her name bigger. And then Honey has the same thing as Elizabeth Taylor. So guys, in the comment section, let me know, are these songs connected in some way, shape, or form? Is there a conceptual reason as to why they decided to go with this font for these two songs specifically? Or it's more of just a design choice that whoever designed the packaging made? Knowing Taylor and knowing how much attention to detail she has, it's probably justified. So let me know in the comments. I would love to know if you guys have any info on this. So it has credits for each individual song, but I'm wondering if there's credits to the actual packaging. I don't see it, but they might have not included them. So yeah, guys, that's kind of it. Let's put this baby back together. Let me know, guys, what do you think? Like, I'm curious as to what you thought of the video. Oh my god, we have more. Wait. We have more, guys. We have more. What is this? This looks like her hair. Oh my god, it's a fold out. Oh, no way, bro. No way. Give me a sec. This is such a beautiful image. Oh my god. I actually think I like this one better. Again, very cinematic. Notice that the image, it's not even like super sharp. Actually, like if you look at the photo, I'm hoping, wait a second. I'm hoping the camera's catching all of this, but like if you look at the image fully, you'll notice that the focus on the image, instead of being on the eyes, which is what you would normally do, it's actually right here on the hair, which again gives it a very nostalgic and cinematic look. It's also like incredibly soft, so I wouldn't be surprised if they actually shot these with vintage lenses or film photography. But in any case, it's absolutely beautiful. I think I like this one better, but I love this one too. But this is very similar to the cover. In fact, I just noticed it's the exact same photo. I couldn't have thought of a better way to end this video. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. I am having a lot of fun discovering Taylor's musical career, artistic career, and thank you to everyone who kind of like recommended me to do this and to do the future videos that I'm gonna do. If you have any other artists that you think this would be like a really good concept to kind of like go through, let me know in the comments. If there's any other vinyl from Taylor's discography that you think will be really cool to analyze, let me know in the comments as well. And yeah, guys, if you don't know anything about me, my name is Gara. I'm a multidisciplinary artist based here in LA. You can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads. Sub up, like up, you know the drill, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.